The future of any nation in the world lies in the hands of our youth. So also is the nation's strength. This is why branches of government and at all levels, especially the legislature, should harness the potentials of youth by being selective in the choice of representatives of the young populace. In this week's episode of the program Young Parliamentarians, we shall be diving into the inauguration of the third State Youth Parliament session of Gombe on the floor of the Gombe State House of Assembly. The Speaker of the newly inaugurated Assembly is our guest, and he will be unveiled shortly after this timeout. My name is Joshua Abuja, and I'm your host. You're welcome to the program. Welcome back. We're a call to action for the youth to play a vital role in the shaping of the future of Gombe State. The Gombe State House of Assembly recently inaugurated the third session of the State Youth Parliament. Assembly correspondent Abbas Maikano has the details.
That I will be faithful and bear true allegiance.
The Gombe State Youth Parliament is designed to empower young people with essential skills in democratic values, leadership, and civic responsibilities. By fostering debate, dialogue, and inclusive participation, the platform aims to harness the energy and creativity of the youth to address complex challenges facing the state. Speaker of the Gombe State House of Assembly, Abubakar Muhammad Lugereu, represented by the Clerk of the House, Barrister Rukaya Adamu, expressed appreciation to the Governor for his inclusive governance and recognition of the youth contribution to nation building. He urged the youth to approach their responsibilities with a spirit of peace and dialogue.
Leadership is about service. Serve with humility, wisdom, courage, and together we build a Gombe state where every young person has the opportunity to dream, to contribute, and to thrive.
The youth of Gombe State are looking up to us to be their voice, their bridge, and their beacon of hope. Our work must therefore go beyond speeches and ceremonies. It must touch lives, open doors, and inspire change.
The Speaker of the Gombe State Youth Parliament, Aliyu Danladi, thanked the Governor and the House for empowering youth in governance, while other speakers include the Gombe State Commissioner of Youth Development and the Clerk of the Youth Parliament contributed to the inaugural session.
Of the Section 105 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, that the person elected as the governor shall have powers to issue a proclamation for the holding of first session of the Parliament.
As emphasized, the Youth Parliament serves as a training ground for democratic values, debates, and civic responsibilities, recognizing that the future of Gombe State and Nigeria lies in the hands of its young people. In Gombe, Abbas Maikano, NTA News.
Joining me to discuss more on the inauguration of the third Gombe State Youth Parliament session is the young Gombean at the helm of legislative affairs of the Youth Assembly. I'm talking of no other person than the Speaker himself, Right Honorable Aliyu Danladi. You're welcome to the program, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for having me on NTA Parliament. It's my pleasure being with you today.
Let me start from the emotional point of view. What was your mind telling you during the inauguration? I mean, how elated were you?
Well, for me, my inauguration as Speaker of Gombe State Youth Parliament came with a lot of emotions. I had a plethora of emotions ranging from I was at a point overwhelmed, especially by the confidence reposed in me by my constituent, that is my honorable colleagues from the different constituencies of Gombe State, and of course, by the confidence by the general public. I felt a kind of burden in me, yes, beyond the moment of delight. Imagine as a speaker, I was looking at the responsibility which comes with it. Of course, because the youth are all looking up to the assembly, particularly the leadership which I occupy, to see that we make a difference in the lives of young people in Gombe State.
Talking of the process, in a nutshell, how did you emerge, you and your colleagues?
Yes, the Gombe State Youth Parliament, just like every other state youth parliament, and which is a replica of the Nigerian Youth Parliament, is based on nomination. There are youth stakeholders, there is the government, and then the State House of Assembly, and of course the Federal the State Ministry for Youth and Sports Development. So from across all these sectors of stakeholders, there are nominations, and even for us, most of us were nominated through one of these channels that I mentioned. And for the Parliament, thankfully, we have a lot of change makers, a lot of advocates, and people who have been making impact in society. So of course, there could be a little politics. Yes, just like every platform, there has to be politics. But beyond the political implication for this Parliament, it is all about merit. We have a lot of people who have been making impact and difference in the lives of young people in Gombe State and beyond.
Kindly tell us about the composition of your Parliament.
The Parliament comprises 24 members drawn from all the constituencies of Gombe State. It is a replica of the Gombe State House of Assembly, just like I earlier mentioned. Yes, and there are 10 principal officers for the Parliament, and then 14 committee chairmen for the Parliament. And for this, we have seen a lot of improvement, especially in terms of gender. Our Parliament has an unprecedented 7 female parliamentarians. So that's to tell you that for the composition, it truly represents the youth of the state. And even in terms of gender, it is also has a certain number of, although we will not be where we want to be in terms of the balance, but we have seen a lot of improvement, and we feel the female voices is also being represented.
What is your administration spectacularly bringing on board, and what difference is your leadership prepared to make compared to the first and the second session of the Gombe Youth Parliament?
Yes, for my manifesto, I highlighted 3 key areas which we want to focus. The first is on inclusion and participation. We, just like we all know, for State Youth Parliament, similar to the Nigerian Youth Parliament, the aim of a parliamentary system is, especially for youth parliament, is to bring young people to the table of decision making. Yes, we know there are young people are supposed to be carried along by the government, non-governmental organizations, and even civil society organizations. So for our session, we want to focus on ensuring effective inclusion and representation, such that yes, young people will get the right slot in government, they will get the right opportunity from even the private sector through corporate social responsibility and all other aspects of society. And then secondly, we want to focus on empowerment and sensitization. We know young people are facing a lot of challenges. There are a lot of societal vices such as drug abuse, such as political thuggery, and what have you. So we want to see that we organize sensitization campaigns and also organize empowerment campaigns to empower these young people with the right skills, knowledge, and resources to excel academically, and then to excel in their choosing career, whatever that career may be. And then lastly, we want to focus on leadership and intervention. One of the aims of the parliament is to train young people in terms of leadership and administration. So starting from us, the members, through various induction exercises and capacity building, our own capacity will be built, and we will try to see that by bringing young people, the young people we represent, we're actually building their own leadership capabilities as well.
We now pause for some messages. The program returns shortly. Don't go away.
Nigeria, the only country we can train with remarkable potentials to excel. Let us believe in ourselves and change our attitude for the sake of our country and generations unborn. Let us revive our cultural values, which are our essence as a nation. Let us renew the spirit of patriotism and hope in our dear country. Do not take or give bribe. Be punctual always. No more African time. We can't expect to be global citizens and operate on African time. Join the queue. Insist that people are attended to on a first-come basis, no matter who they are or where they come from.
Nigeria, good people, great nation.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're watching the program Young Parliamentarians, showing on NTA Parliament Abuja. You can as well join the conversation via the platform scrolling on your screen. I've been engaging Right Honorable Aliu Danladi, the Speaker of the Gombe State Youth Parliament 3rd session, and our focus is the inauguration of the Gombe Youth Parliament, which held recently inside the chamber of the Gombe State House of Assembly. Let's now move on. How do you want to fellowship with other arms of government, especially the executive and the Gombe State House of Assembly? Don't you think there is need for serious collaboration to avoid your assembly working in isolation?
Yes, the Gombe State Youth Parliament, just like every organization, cannot work in isolation. And especially for us, we work directly under the tutelage of the Gombe State House of Assembly, and we are funded and monitored by the Gombe State Ministry for Youth and Sports Development. So even from our composition and the mandate, you can see that we are working hand in hand. We are having a collaborative working relationship with the legislative arm and the executive arm of our state government. And yes, just like for the SDGs, the Parliament is an arrangement of the United Nations, and for the SDG goals, the last goal is partnership for the goals. So for the Gombe State Youth Parliament, we want to utilize partnerships and collaboration to see that we achieve our objectives.
What are the challenges that you and your colleagues might have identified to address as you look forward to your days in office?
Yes, just like I mentioned, some of the things we'll focus on. We didn't just come up with these initiatives without looking at the challenges young people are facing. Like I mentioned, firstly, the issue of drug abuse, which has become a menace in our society. A lot of young people are into drugs. They are wasting their lives, they are wasting their future, they are wasting their career. So by organizing campaigns in collaboration with the relevant agencies, we'll see that we organize campaigns and rehabilitate some of the young people who have fallen into drug abuse. And then the issue of political thuggery, yes, we are going to orient our young people on their democratic and civic responsibilities and rights and privileges to see that they utilize all these rights, they hold the government accountable and get the most out of democracy. And the issue of unemployment, which is a global problem, not just limited to Nigeria or Gombe. So we'll see that through different skill acquisition programs, young people are exposed to the right digital skills, to the right entrepreneurial and the right business skills for them to excel in today's world.
What solutions are you preferring?
Yes, just like I mentioned, we'll organize sensitization campaign to orient our young people on the disadvantages of engaging in societal vices. And then we'll organize initiatives which will empower them with the right skills, with the right training, with the right platform, with the right mentorship that they need. And like I've always mentioned, our arms are open for collaboration. We'll collaborate with different stakeholders from the government and the private sector to see that we bring purposeful initiatives that will change the lives of young people academically, professionally, and otherwise.
Do you see the possibility of your recommendations being implemented?
Yes, of course, for the Youth Parliament, we know our resolutions are advisory. We don't enforce laws. We discuss motions and bills which are passed to the government through the Gombe State House of Assembly, and all these motions are advisory resolutions. And of course, we'll be having sittings quarterly. During these sittings, we'll be discussing on issues that affect the lives of young people across Gombe State, and we'll make sure that the government has been listening. Yes, we have to give them that credit, and we are confident that they will continue listening to the voices of young people to see that their lives are being improved and changed for the better.
May we know what your vision statement is to Gombe youths? I believe they are listening now and watching as well.
Yes, our vision for the Parliament is to have a more empowered youth community in Gombe, and for Gombe State Youth Parliament to become not just the most visible parliament, but the most impactful state parliament within a year. And for young people, like I mentioned, they're about empowering them with the right democratic values, the right skills, the right mentorship, and the right platform for them to excel, not just at the local, but at the global level.
Thank you for your time, Right Honorable Speaker Aliu Danladi.
Thank you so much.
Okay, this is how far we can go on this week's episode of the program Young Parliamentarians. I believe you enjoyed every bit of it. For comments and observations, You can follow us on the platforms showing on your screen. See you next time on this same channel for another amazing episode of the program. Again, I'm Joshua Abuja. Remain blessed and bye for now.